everyone, it's Debbie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm a reseller. I've been reselling for 19 years and I absolutely love it. And today I have a what sold video for you. I'm going to share some items that sold in the month of August 2023. I had sales on eBay and Poshmark. I sold a total of 108 items for a gross amount of $2,585.98, which is a little bit lower than normal, and I could blame it on summer slowdown, but I think it's really, I slow down in the summers because we have so much going on. I'm not consistent. Consistency really does make a difference. In those summers where I do work consistently and I'm sure to have items that sell well in the summer, I've done great. So I think for me, summer slowdown is me slowing down, but I'm still grateful that I had 108 items sell. We'll start on eBay. I definitely sold the most on eBay. 83 of the items I sold on eBay for a gross amount of $2,043.98. The first item my daughter Morgan found at the Goodwill bins in Oklahoma City.
Stop!
Oh my, she's like, Morgan found the treasure.
Oh, okay, you can take it. Awesome.
It was the Gunny Sacks Jessica McClintock prairie dress, lace collar, vintage. It had no size tag, so I put small or medium. I ran out of room, so I put S or M, and I put in the description that there was no size tag, but it's shown on my size 6 mannequin, and I think it would fit either a small or a medium, but please refer to the measurements for a proper fit. It was so pretty. It was a shiny maroon material with I think it was like a floral embossed pattern. It had a lace collar. The skirt had a lace overlay. It had shoulder pads. It was just so pretty. It sold international to somebody in Germany. It sold for a gross amount of $120.39. My earnings were $76.30. I paid just 88 cents at the Goodwill bins in Oklahoma City. It took 9 months and 15 days to sell, so it did take a little while to sell, but I think it's totally worth it because I made a profit of $75.42. The next item was another great item from the Goodwill bins. This was a vintage 90s Christian Dior yellow knit V-neck sweater, men's size large, and I put made in the USA. The fabric said 100% Orlon acrylic, but I put in the description that it was so soft. Like when I felt it, I thought it was cashmere. I put that there were a lot of details to please see all the pictures, and I also put that the color is best shown in the close-up photos because some of the photos looked a little bit different. Some were lighter, some were darker. So when that happens, I try to tell them which one to look at to get the most accurate color. It sold for $70.88. My earnings were $51.15. I paid 84 cents at the Goodwill bins in Oklahoma City. It took 4 months and 16 days to sell, and my profit was $50.31. The next one was this beautiful skirt. I was leaving Goodwill and I was going by the skirts. And if I'm leaving and haven't had a chance to look at everything, I'll kind of look for fabrics that stand out, or I'll kind of feel as I go along. And I felt this red skirt and it felt so buttery soft. So I pulled it out and grabbed it, and I didn't even look up comps, but it ended up being really good. It was the vintage 90s Michael Hoban North Beach red leather skirt, size 10. I put 27 waist because since it is vintage, the waist is probably smaller than today's size 10. So I wanted to be sure and put that on the title also. It had a couple of flaws. There was a spot, there was another area that the leather looked a little rubbed off, so I just pointed that out and told them to be sure and look at the photos. It sold for $84.65. My earnings were $52.51. I paid just $5.99 at my local Goodwill. It took 1 month and 6 days to sell, and my profit was $46.52. The person purchased it and they did not pay right away. They waited a few days to pay. So when that happens, I send a message to them and I say, thank you so much for your purchase. This is just a friendly payment reminder. I have your item ready to ship. Well, the person responded back to me and he said he was a photographer and he was collecting vintage skirts from that time to do a photo shoot. And he said he had a lot of black ones and he wanted to get this red one to add like a little pop of color in the middle. So I thought that was so neat. He said when he does the photo shoot, he'll send the photo to me. I would love to see that. Just a quick reminder, if you're new and not subscribed, I'd love to have you back. Just hit the subscribe button down below, and if you hit the notification bell, it will let you know when I release new videos. Next item came from a group of items that I found at the Goodwill bins. There were about 5 or 6 vintage nightgowns, and I love selling vintage nightgowns, and a few of them sold really well right away for a lot of money. This one did not have a brand in it, but I still picked it up anyway, and I noticed it had an RN number, and usually if you type in the RN number, you can find out what brand something is. Now, it was a brand called Tex Sheen, and it was vintage from the 60s or 70s, and this nightgown was so pretty. On the title, I put vintage Tex Sheen lingerie sheer nightgown, medium chiffon lace see-through gown. It sold international to someone in the United Kingdom for $70.68. My earnings were a lot lower than that because since it went international, they paid a high amount. So they paid $70.68. My earnings were only $27.94. But I paid 39 cents for it at the Goodwill bins. It took just 28 days to sell, and my profit was $27.55. Another nightgown from that group of nightgowns sold, which was the vintage Warner's long gown nightgown lingerie, nude lace upper, mint green. I put small. There was actually no size tag, but I put that it fits like a size small. This one also went international, and this one went to Germany. So 2 things in this what sold video so far went to Germany. It sold for $79.84. My earnings were $43.14. I paid just 38 cents at the Goodwill bins. It took just 3 days to sell, and my profit was $42.76. Next, I had a basket that I found at the bins, and I thought it was really cute. Remember these baskets, Longaberger, because back a long time ago when I was in college and student teaching, one of the moms of the kids I was teaching brought all these Longaberger baskets to sell, and she was asking me to buy one. And I was like, wow, these are expensive. I can't afford this. I'm trying to get through college. But I still remember that those were really expensive. So when I saw it at the bins, I thought, I'm going to pick this up. It was just a cute little basket, and I thought, I would like it if it doesn't sell. It still had the certificate and everything attached. I find that so many things that I pick up have to do with an experience in life of something that I've purchased or a hobby that I've had, or my kids or my husband or my parents. It's easiest to sell things and to recognize things to sell that you have had experience with in your life. This basket I titled New with Tag, and then I also wrote New Longaberger 2010 Dresden Basket with Certificate. I put handle, woven, and wood. It sold for $33.33. My earnings were $20.28. I paid just 25 cents at the Goodwill bins, but it took so long to sell. 2 years, 3 months, and 11 days. But that's okay. I just had it up in a closet in a very high shelf. It didn't bother me. It didn't take up much space. And I was thrilled when it sold, and I made a profit of $20.03. The next item was a set of colored pencils. Some colored pencils can sell for a lot of money. Let's do a quick search of comps. I put colored pencils set, then I filtered by used. I went down and selected completed and sold listings so I could see what items I should be on the lookout for.
I change the search field from highest to lowest. That way I can see which items sell for the most money. That way, when I am out thrifting or at garage sales, I will be familiar with some of these items and know to pick them up if I see them. So if you just spend a few minutes each day doing different searches like this, it will really build your knowledge base.
This was the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. I put case, 48, soft core, artist, and I put some used because some of the colored pencils were used. When I purchased it, it had tape all around it, so I didn't know if it was used or brand new, but I thought, I think it will sell for a good profit either way. And then in the listing, I just put some of the pencils were used. Please see the photos, and there were some that hadn't been used, and the ones that were used still had a lot left. So for $33.15, my earnings were $18.69. I paid just $3.99 at my local Goodwill. They took just one day to sell, and my profit was $14.70. On that same haul that I purchased those colored pencils, I also purchased this Zara skirt, and it felt leather, but it's not leather. So I used to always put faux leather. Now I tend to put vegan leather because when I look at sold comps, it seems like the items that I see that have sold and sold the highest tend to say vegan leather now rather than faux leather. So I titled it new with tags, Zara vegan leather skirt, size large, midi, dark green skirt, $89.50 front split. It sold for $41.62. My earnings were $23.96. I paid just $4.99 at my local Goodwill. It took just one day to sell, and my profit was $18.97. The next one, I also got that same day. That was a good haul. I often will go to the rack where people try on clothes and then they don't buy them and then they put them on the rack. I usually find one or two things on that rack because I find it's usually desirable things that people are trying on, and they're probably trying them on for themselves, not to resell, and they just didn't fit, so they put them back. So I love to look on that rack. This was the vintage 80s Blaze high-rise jeans. I put 26 by 34. I put that earlier, the actual size of the jeans rather than the size that was on the tag, because I wanted to catch the people that were searching for 26 by 34 jeans. Then I put women's tag size 1129. Since they're vintage, the sizing is so much different. If someone's searching for a size 11 jean, that's going to be so much different than someone searching for a 26 by 34. I put cowgirl, western, and rodeo. They sold for $40.23. My earnings were $25.97. I paid $8.69 at my local Goodwill. It took just 2 days to sell, and my profit was $17.28. The next one was a brand that was new to me. I'd never heard of it before, but I picked it up. It felt really nice, and I liked the style. I was very happy with how quickly it sold and for the amount that it sold. I put Kamana women's tunic size medium. I feel like there was probably more on that title. I will pop it up. I must have gotten interrupted and didn't write the rest because I always try to fill my title line with every character I can to put as many keywords as I can. It sold for $27.58. My earnings were $18.15. I purchased it at the Goodwill Bins in Oklahoma City for 92 cents. It took 1.5 months to sell, and my profit was $17.23. Next, we will move on to Poshmark, which was pretty low. I sold just 25 items on Poshmark in the month of August for $542. The first one was a pair of Sam Edelman Linny Bit Mules size 7. I usually have really good luck with Sam Edelman. I looked up the comps quickly using that style name that I found right inside the shoe, Linny. I saw the sold comps were great, so I knew it would probably sell right away. They sold for $38. My earnings were $27.42. I paid just $6.59 at my regular Goodwill. They took just 3 days to sell, and my profit was $20.83. The next two came from my Goodwill haul in San Antonio. In that video, I said that I felt like I was finding nothing, and I picked up some things that I knew were not going to do just terrific, but I stuck in there and I ended up really happy with that haul in the end. One of the items that sold from that haul was the Tommy Bahama men's jeans, size 46-30. When I got home and measured them, I realized that they had been hemmed, but they were hemmed very well. They probably had them hemmed professionally because they looked great. I put on the title, hemmed to 27-inch inseam. Measures 45 by 27, and then I put the word down. I knew with that inseam, they probably were either going to take a really long time to sell or not sell for quite as much money. So I received an offer for $26 and I decided to take it. My earnings were $20.80. I paid $8.69 at the Goodwill in San Antonio, and I sold in just 24 days, so I can't complain. And my profit was $12.11. Another thing that I picked up on that haul was the Lane Bryant paper bag ankle pants, women's size 18 to 20 belted. They sold for $15. My earnings were $9.02. I paid just $3 at the Goodwill, also in San Antonio. They took 1 month and 6 days to sell, and my profit was just $6.02. In my last what sold video, I talked about how I've sourced a lot at PacSun because they really reduce their items. A lot of times they'll have an area in the back where things are priced so low. At the end of last summer, I picked up a lot of swimsuits, and they ranged from about $1 to $3 each. This was the last one. They've all sold now in 1 year. It's been a great return on investment. This one, the last one, I have multiple quantities of this one. This was the New with Tags LA Hearts by PacSun Green Riviera Terry one-piece swimsuit large cutout. It sold for $22. My earnings were $17.80. I paid just $3 at PacSun. Took a little over a year, but it was multiple quantities, and I got a lot of different styles of different swimsuits from them, and my profit on this one was $14.80. I had new with tags and 1 new without tags, 7 pairs of large panties, 6 hipster, 1 thong, Victoria's Secret, the body, lace. I found at the bins one time a group of really nice purses. They were small purses. There was like a Coach. There was, I think it was a fake Louis Vuitton. I saved it because I didn't dare list it because I didn't know if it was really Louis Vuitton or not, and I didn't want to risk my account. And then in this little gift bag, there were these 7 pairs of panties, and most of them had tags, and then one of them looked like it was still brand new. And I thought, should I get these from the bins? And I decided, yes, I should. They were new with tags, and you know, I'm sure the person's going to take off the tags and wash them when they get them. So I felt a little weird about picking them up, but then I thought, I pick up vintage panties all the time, and they sell great, and I don't have any problem with that. So I picked them up. They sold for $21. My earnings were $13.82. I paid just 50 cents at the Goodwill bins in Oklahoma City. They took 3 months to sell, and my profit was $13.32. Okay, last thing. If you ever see a box that looks like this or a watch that says Garmin, it would be worth it to take a look at it, look up sold comps, because they tend to sell very well. If I found one at a garage sale and maybe it wasn't charged and I had no idea if it was working or not, but they were asking $10 or $20, I would probably go ahead and pick it up because I know they will often sell not working for parts for a good amount.
If you find a Garmin watch, just flip it over, and on the back it will say the model number. So when you're looking at sold comps, you'll definitely want to put that model number in because they do range in value. So let's look up sold comps for Garmin Phoenix for parts. I want to go under filter and then under condition and change it to for parts or not working. When I look at the very bottom, it shows me that there are currently 14 listings available. Next, if I select sold items, it shows at the bottom that 80 have sold in the last 90 days. So that is an incredible sell-through rate. That tells me that the item is going to sell fast. And if you look at the amounts that it sells for, they sell for a great amount, even when not working and for parts. So definitely be on the lookout for them.
If it's working, they sell really well. The sell-through rate is great. My husband and I just upgraded our watches, so we decided to sell ours. So I sold my husband's on Poshmark. It was the Garmin Phoenix 5 Plus crystal screen, titanium bezel, 47 millimeter charger bands. It sold for $140. My earnings were $112. It took just one day to sell, and I consider the cost of goods is zero because we purchased it, used it, and then decided to resell it. So we did not buy that for resale, but are reselling it after we used it. So the cost of goods was zero. It was originally $799, but my husband got a lot of use out of it. So to get a profit back of $112 after using it for years is excellent. Now I had mine also and I was going to sell it, but I was so attached to it. I love my Garmin watch, use it all the time, ran so many miles with it and had so many workouts that I just couldn't bear to list it. And then my son Jason started running a lot, and so I gave it to him instead. So he's wearing my watch now, so I'm very happy that he has it. And on my husband's watch, it wasn't even perfect. I put on there that the top left-hand button sticks sometimes, and it still sold great. So be sure to keep an eye out for Garmin watches.
Next, to go over my numbers, in August 2023, I sold 108 items for a gross amount of $2,585.98. The money that I received back in the bank after any fees or postage was $1,493.74. My cost of goods was $233.47, and my profit was $1,260.27. On eBay, I sold 83 of those items for a gross amount of $2,043.98. After postage and fees, I received in the bank $1,094.11. My cost of goods was $150.18, and my profit was $943.93. On Poshmark, I sold 25 items for a gross amount of $542. After fees, I received back $399.63. My cost of goods was $83.29, and my profit was $316.34. If we look at where my items came from, 53 of them were thrifted, 32 were retail arbitrage, and 23 were liquidation.
So that is everything that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy what sold videos and wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it so much. If you're new and not subscribed and would like to join me again, be sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And if you hit the notification bell, it will let you know when I release new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and everybody have a great day. Bye.